Harry is starting to wake up. Meghan is, in many ways, the smoking gun. Prodigal prince, a runaway son who is sad and suffused with regret. Beginning of the end of their marriage. It didn't have to be this way, JJ. The issue you have with how they did it, attacking the family, monetizing their royal links, the hideous accusation of racism, that's why there's no way back for Harry. This is propaganda from the relentless and ruthless Sussex public relations machine. Harry is the royal family's dirty secret.
Hello, welcome to the Daily Expresso. We are back, myself, JJ, and Mark, Dolan. Mark, how art thou?
So well, and it's so good to see you. So much to go at. Wasn't Trooping the Colour just beautiful? Happy birthday, King Charles.
Yes.
Right, so rich he gets 2 birthdays.
It was lovely, but Harry was missing. Everyone's talking about it. We knew he wasn't going to be there, but it was sad, I think, that he wasn't there.
It was sad for Harry. And no doubt that event was on his radar because he understands the royal calendar and he knows what he's missing and he knows what he gave up and he will be heartbroken about it. Harry will be devastated. Every time there's a royal occasion and the pomp and the ceremony and the balcony moment and he's not there, it's gotta hurt.
Yes.
And I believe, and what I'm hearing from my sources, is that Harry is starting to wake up to the reality of what he's done to himself. And yes, of course, the timeline is meeting Meghan, marrying her and leaving the UK. So Meghan is in many ways the smoking gun, but Harry's brought this on himself. And it's my understanding that he's got deep regrets.
Really?
It's going to take a while, JJ, for that to feed through into action, which might be to blame Meghan and for that to be the beginning of the end of their marriage. Look what you've done to me. You've ruined my life, which is what people tend to say to each other at the end of a marriage.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you're just dealing with a prodigal prince, a runaway son who is sad and suffused with regret. I'll tell you what's more painful for Harry. He wasn't missed. I mean, Harry, who's Harry? Prince who?
Yeah.
Because if you watched the Trooping the Colour, and it was an amazing ceremony, watched around the world, you've got the all-stars, haven't you? You've got King Charles and Queen Camilla. You've got William and Catherine. You've got Princess Anne. You've got Edward. You've got the children, the next generation. What you're looking at on that balcony is a slimmed-down monarchy, a lean, mean fighting machine, a monarchy fit for the future, a modern monarchy that doesn't need or want Harry.
Well, here's what our royal reporter Rebecca Russell said about it.
Oh, she's brilliant.
She's
Rebecca's
fantastic.
good.
Rebecca's great.
Yeah.
She said, if Harry and Meghan had never pressed the self-destruct button on that fatal day back in January 2020, he could have spent the day riding alongside his brother, aunt and uncle, diligently supporting his father. Instead, he's left to watch from afar.
Rebecca gets it.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right about that. It didn't have to be this way, JJ. No one has an issue with a member of the royal family deciding this isn't for me.
Yeah.
No self-respecting institution is a prison that doesn't let you out. And we've had applications in the past. The issue you have with how they did it, attacking the family, monetizing their royal links, the hideous accusation of racism against an unnamed member of the royal family in the Oprah Winfrey interview. That's why Rebecca's right that there's no way back for Harry. And if they'd done Megxit correctly, they could have appeared at Trooping the Colour.
Yeah.
They could have appeared at Peter Phillips's wedding. They could go to Balmoral at Christmas for, maybe Boxing Day, maybe that kind of thing. So this is all by design. And it's impossible to see how Harry and Meghan as a couple, as a brand, will ever be connected to the royal family ever again. I just don't see it.
They need it. They need it. They do desperately need it. They need the royal connection.
They need it more than King Charles and Camilla and William and Catherine. They don't need it. They don't need that grief.
Yeah.
Because can you imagine if Meghan was on that balcony over the weekend with Harry, right? Scheming, right? With a little dictaphone, right? Under her dress. I'm recording everything. My husband. And what's it going to be? If Harry and Meghan are on that balcony for the Trooping the Colour, you're feeding the monster because they're going to recalibrate their royal credentials and then make money from that, which is abhorrent to the king. He's so horrified that they've monetized their royal connections. But also, if they're on the balcony and they're welcomed back into the royal fold, it's more material for the next spare book, more material for Meghan's autobiography, My Story, which I believe she'll publish after her divorce from Prince Harry, because she'll make a lot more money from that book when she divorces Harry than she would now. And it's more material for the podcast and probably to revive the Netflix deal, because that Netflix deal is as flat as a pancake. It is absent without leave. It's a dead parrot. It is an ex-deal. It is no more. It is a broadcast deal that's pushing up the daisies. It's gone to meet its maker. Finito. The end. Good night, Vienna. Adios. So the issue you've got is that any welcoming back, any presence of Harry and Meghan on an occasion like Trooping the Colour is only going to create further problems down the line. And as we've discussed on this show, JJ, it's a problem that becomes not the issue for King Charles and Camilla, but it'll be Queen Catherine and King William who'll have to deal with this, and they don't want to.
But as you said, I've always been hopeful that they could reconcile, and I think it's sad that a father doesn't have his two children by his side, but I do not actually see a way back anymore. I've watched Trooping the Colour, and as you say, seeing how well the family are doing.
It wasn't like the Beatles without John Lennon, was it?
Yeah, no, it really isn't. It really isn't. So I just don't see a way. Maybe they'll reconcile behind closed doors, but I don't think Harry's going to be allowed to be part of the public-facing royal family again. I don't think there's going to be a case of, and it's here's the king and his two sons. I think it's going to be, here's King Charles, here's William and co. Oh, and he met Harry yesterday behind closed doors. I think that's all it's going to ever be now.
You've nailed it. Harry is the royal family's dirty secret. They're ashamed of him. They consider him dangerous and toxic, which is why if you meet him, you do so behind closed doors.
Yeah.
It's shocking. And we mentioned the Trooping the Colour and that balcony moment, and it wasn't like the Beatles without Lennon or McCartney. In fact, it was the Royal Beatles. It was all the key people. If anything, the better metaphor in pop music terms is that what we saw this weekend was the Spice Girls without Victoria Beckham and her terrible singing voice. Right?
Spice Girls, one for our younger viewers there.
I'm not very up to date with the pop charts. I'm not a Swiftie. I thought Harry Styles was a bank manager. So it's huge, and the media are having a total meltdown about Harry and Meghan now, and seeing just how isolated they are and what a toxic brand they are. So the royal family don't want the Sussex brand anywhere near their very successful royal brand. Similarly, Hollywood, as we know, have turned their back on Harry and Meghan as well. The whole thing's a hot mess.
Well, it's going to get worse for Harry and Meghan. Are you looking for ways to protect your wealth in these uncertain times? Well, might I suggest you check out the Pure Gold Company. The Pure Gold Company was voted the UK's best gold broker. They are leading specialists in physical gold and silver. So whether you're planning for the future, diversifying your portfolio, or simply want the security of owning real precious metals, their expert team can help guide you every step of the way. Gold coins minted by the Royal Mint are free of VAT and capital gains tax in the UK, and you can see it, touch it, hold it, store it under your bed if you want to. Visit the Pure Gold Company today and tell them JJ sent you. As you've said many times on this show, they are struggling when it comes to money. Financially, they are struggling. And you say this on your amazing YouTube show, The Mark Dolan Show.
Thank you, sir.
If you're watching this, go and watch that, by the way. The Mark Dolan Show, you do that every single day. You're on there dropping truth bombs about Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
And you've said for a while they're struggling with cash. And I'm always saying to you, what are you talking about, dude? They've got like 100 million quid in the bank. They're doing fine. Turns out you were right, Marky Mark. And the news now is that Harry and Meghan are having to cut some of their staff from their Montecito mansion.
Which is a disaster. So they've already had to effectively shutter their philanthropic business, which is Archwell. And they've got rid of, first of all, a few of the heads of the charity have left, and they've also laid people off. They're getting through staff at a rate of knots. The issue you've got, yes, there is some cash there from the late Queen Mother inheritance to Harry, which he didn't deserve. Based upon his behaviour. And if the poor old Queen Mother were here today, she'd be horrified by his actions, and she'd probably try to block that payment because that matured when he I think it was around the age of 30 that he got a big chunk of change from the Queen Mother, and then of course from Diana, and she'd be furious with Harry too. So he's got some inheritance cash, he's got a bit of cash from the book spare and the remnants of that Netflix deal. But don't believe the hype, because the $100 million for Netflix, a lot of that was production costs. So that is not the total figure that goes in their back pocket.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Spotify deal. We were told 20 million. Well, it wasn't 20 million because they didn't honor the terms of that contract, because they did one measly, horrible podcast that no one listened to called Archetypes.
Yeah.
So, the figures have been inflated. They've made less money than they claim. And this is propaganda from the relentless and ruthless Sussex public relations machine, which never sleeps. The other issue you've got is, so while we'll acknowledge there is some money in the bank account, they've got a big mortgage on the house, and there is no cash flow. JJ, there's nothing coming in.
Yeah.
So you know, and our viewers know, that when you've got your savings and you're living off your savings, you're in a dangerous place, and that's where they are.
What about her spread?
I beg your pardon. Family show.
I'll start again. Meghan's spread that cannot be called jam because it doesn't reach the quantity that jam needs to have for it to be called jam. Her spread, there was in a jar and sold.
There's no way you're recovering from this, JJ. It's over.
Is she not making any kind of dough from selling all this stuff online?
You can tell she's not, because it's 3 packs. You're not allowed to just buy one, which is always a sign of a desperate business model. You know, you have to have an enormous. It's the same with the rosé comes in a 3-pack. Eye-watering amounts of money. The candles, which smell of the kids. Yikes!
Strange.
It's so weird.
Very strange.
No, it's a disaster. And here's the thing: if she was making money and if this stuff was selling, we'd be the first to know about it, because that Sussex PR machine would be telling us, and they would be gloating, because they were the first to tell us about the Netflix deal and the so-called renewed deal, which was not the renewal. It's just a first look at their horrible ideas, to which Netflix will say no thanks. And also, I'm hearing reports that there are still jars of unsold jam gathering dust at Netflix HQ.
I will stop you there. Right, a quick pause in the podcast to tell you about our sponsor, Incogni. You had those phone calls from numbers you don't recognize, or you go in your inbox and there's emails for stuff you did not sign up for. Well, that's because someone somewhere is selling your private information. That's where today's sponsor comes in, Incogni. They will contact these people who have been taking your information, and they'll say, oi, stop, delete it. Go to the website, incogni.com, you type in the details, 2 minutes later, Incogni are sorting it out for you automatically. And because I love you, I've got you a discount. It ain't 10%, it ain't 20%, 60% off. 60% off an annual Incogni plan. Just go to incogni.com/Daily Expresso, or click the link in the episode description box below. Legally, we cannot call it jam.
You are right about
it. It is spread.
I'm just trying to avoid this language that you've invoked, which I will say has made some of our viewers quite lightheaded. You see, the Expresso is supposed to be a safe space online. But that's it. Oh no, I mean, look, she's making whatever, $11 a year from the spread and the flour sprinkles. I mean, it's not solid. And you know what? It's a problem, because they've got bills, $3 to $4 million all in, staffing costs, security, international travel, private education for the kids, the mortgage I mentioned. They've got grounds staff. They've got help in the kitchen, because we know Meghan she's not a cook, okay? We have documentary evidence of that. We've got 16 episodes of We Love Meghan that demonstrate she's never seen a stove before. So, yeah, I mean, I think money's going to be a big... And this is the mood music, JJ. All of this builds up to a scenario in which the marriage is under pressure. The penny drop for Harry, realising, you've ruined my life. The finances, you know as well as I do, in a marriage, if there are money problems, it's a big source of tension. And also the other big conflict point is disagreements over how to raise the kids. And it's my understanding that Harry doesn't want Archie and Lily to be celebrities.
Yeah.
He doesn't want them on Instagram every 10 seconds. But what Meghan wants, Meghan gets.
Crikey. Well, look, if you enjoyed the episode thus far, do please like, share, subscribe and comment. However, we're not done. If you have joined the club, just down there, hit the join button. Was it $2.99? $2.99 a month
bargain.
for all this exclusive content. Marky Mark and I are going to talk about something. I was just in the US. I just got back this morning, and we have a story about Harry at this NBA game. We're going to talk about that next, but only in the VIP club, Club Expresso. Hit join, and you can see that there. If you're saying goodbye now, then goodbye and thank you, and we'll see you again tomorrow.